Los Angeles. This birthplace of the movie biz comes with a lot of preconceived notions, and I've had a few. Truth is, this sunny urban sprawl has grown into one of my favorite places on the planet and always exceeds my expectations.
All right, made it to California, Southern California, where the sun shines almost year-round. Oh, you catch on real quick how beautiful life is here in Southern California. Hermosa Beach. People talk about the plastic fantastic, and they're right. But there is also this, the chill, the vibe, the beach, the sun, surf culture. Everybody knows about surfing. Everybody has this idea about the mystique of surfing. But it's here in Los Angeles through pop culture things like the Beach Boys that surfing came up. And the world found out. Is this a youth surf competition? What's happening today?
It's just a surf club, bro.
It's a surf club, so it's not a competition.
No, it's not like a...
Yeah.
Can you explain?
Somebody explain to me.
It's just a hangout.
What makes this special down here?
Because
It's uncrowded.
It's uncrowded?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
yeah,
Okay,
but
yeah.
don't surf here.
Don't surf here? Where was the best place to go
The
surfing?
best place is over here.
What's it called?
Manhattan Beach.
Just like surfing, beach volleyball is an island import that LA took to the world. Originally starting in the 1920s up in Santa Monica, you can now find it all over LA's beaches. It's said that this two-person version of the sport happened by chance when not enough players showed up for the typical six-person version. And I'm told here in Hermosa you can find some of the sport's most elite athletes training in this very place. The first part of my trip I stayed a few blocks from the beach with my friend Corey and his family. This is his daughter Emma. Gotta say, there are few neighborhoods on the planet that compete with Hermosa. The climate, the beach, the culture. It's posh without being pretentious.
Oh, Hermosa Beach. I could live here, man. That is for sure. Not bad all the way around. Oh.
From there, I moved inland to Studio City in the valley. LA is also remarkable for its access to mountains, even within the city itself.
So I'm seeing what this hiking situation is like in Los Angeles. I'm actually right here in the valley on this side of the Hollywood Hills. These are the Hollywood Hills, I guess. Beverly Hills is just right over here. Los Angeles really is a city of a bit of a dichotomy. The beaches, these mountains, these hiking trips, which this is right here, right? This is Hollywood. It's like the two movies I watched on the plane when I was flying here. One was the Entourage movie. The other one was a movie called Dope. It's almost like they illustrate the two aspects of the city, this tale of two cities. Entourage is about, boats and hoes. Whereas Dope, it's about a little bit of the real life. This is two aspects of Los Angeles. But the plastic fantastic that everybody talks about, that people give lots of hate to Los Angeles about, it's true. But you've also got this nature and a deep connectedness to it. It really, really is a beautiful and interesting city that way.
The dude on the drums was my host here in Studio City, and a fellow Push Method soldier. We took to the soundstage at Behringer to provide this Wander West LA soundtrack, and afterward, we hit a Southern California staple.
Yeah, but you want to say something about In-N-Out Burger Laps while I look up the secret menu before she gets here?
It's called In-N-Out because you get in, you get your burger, you get out. The locations are very limited, unless you're in California, because they're everywhere. It is a better quality fast food, and I'll tell you why I like it is because we literally just ordered enough food for 4 people, and it's under $20.
I left the valley and headed into Hollywood, which a lot of people think is just a nickname for the movie business, but in fact, it's actually a neighborhood that predates the movie business. It became an epicenter of the industry when early filmmakers fled Thomas Edison's patent police and landed here, in the much less regulated Wild Wild West.
And we are at, what are we at?
The Hollyhock House.
What is the Hollyhock House?
Barnsdale
All right,
Park.
turn this way. I want light on your beautiful face. Much better.
It's one of Frank Lloyd Wright's homes.
Okay, who's Frank Lloyd Wright?
famous architect.
Yeah? What's an
everybody
architect?
not know? who
What's an
Frank Lloyd Wright
architect?
is? I think it's those guys that build houses.
They build houses.
Yeah.
I wonder how they cast these pieces right here.
I don't know. It's the reason they call it the Hollyhock House is I believe that's actually after a flower called the hollyhock.
Okay, so Scooby-Doo plan is a go. We're at the Ennis house for another Frank Lloyd Wright. Oh, they closed it. Excuse me. Can I ask you a question? Yeah. What does it take to get in here? Could we just come take a picture of the view? Is that possible? No. Not at all? Just walk right out there and not at all. Okay.
Yeah, we failed hard at getting into either of those Frank Lloyd Wright film sets. Take 3.
So the famous last scene of the movie that I've never seen, because I don't watch old movies, shame on me.
Shame on
But I'm making
you.
a promise right now to Michelle that I will watch Rebel Without a Cause.
Yes, he roped me into watching it with him.
It was right here at the what?
Griffith Observatory.
The Griffith Observatory. It is pretty.
Beautiful. It's just massive.
Yeah.
Next, we headed downtown, which until recently was a place to be avoided. But over the last 20 years or so, it's seen a resurgence in modern housing, business investment, and public attractions, which has rejuvenated the area.
We checked out the farmer's market, then hit up this massive bookstore with all kinds of corridors and local shops, and then eventually found ourselves at the old run-down rail car Angels Flight. I have no idea what
I don't know, let's find out.
Finally, we landed at the Bradbury Building, a beautiful structure which has served as a set for many movies.
It's like a hidden historical gem. It's like a little time capsule.
To finish off our day of exploration, we arrived at LACMA, the city's modern art museum. Out front is one of LA's most popular photo op spots, the solar-powered, self-generating Urban Light by Chris Burden. Now, I want you to pay attention, not to me and Michelle, but those 2 kids running in the background. In particular, this guy. Watch him. Watch him, watch him, watch, and wham! Relax, the kid was fine, and that was hilarious.
Okay, I'm here with Sarah. Hey, Sarah.
Hi.
And we are in Venice. And she's gonna take me around, show me what's up in Venice. And I gotta say, the first time that I came to Venice, it was like I stepped out of the car, I had my ukulele with me, I just fit right in immediately.
Because we're surrounded by the ocean, we're very conscious of the earth and nature and stuff like that. And you'll find that in Venice. And that whole cultural phenomenon that's always got something going on. I mean, we were hanging out there all day today and got to watch some cool acrobatic people doing their show and people skateboarding and people on their segways and
whatever the dude with the beard was, whatever
his was. He was great. He can stay. He can stay. He was peaceful and loving. And
Hello, which one are you?
I don't know, I'm trying to figure that out myself.
My name is Baba G, and sometimes I'm called Jesus. And I used to skate the boardwalk in a white robe.
Wow.
I'm famous around here.
Oh man, I like the beard, dude.
Well, it comes with the robe.
Take it easy.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
it's an artist town. So everybody that comes here is a performer or a musician. And they all kind of have the same brain.
Nothing like Venice at sunset. So alive.
I grew up in Watts.
What's Watts?
Watts is in South Central.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so that's where I'm born and raised at over there. I mean, growing up though over there, I mean, you don't really think of it like that. As far as what people say until you actually start getting older, you're like, man, it really is like that. Like I really grew up, you know, around this type of environment, or I had to do this, or I had to do that. Yeah, I mean, it depends. Like, I don't know, I really can't explain it, man. I mean, everywhere is dangerous. I mean, no matter where you go in the world, like, there's always a good part and there's always a bad part.
Sure.
You know, it doesn't necessarily be about gangs. It's about, you know what I'm saying, just people just trying to survive or do what they got to do.
Sure.
You know, themselves or their family or whatever.
That was my Uber driver. For all the beauty LA has to offer, you can't ignore its harsh realities. The hood is no joke, and there's more to it than that. But first, head with me to Malibu, the opposite of hood, for a chat with a fellow road warrior.
All right, this is Kelly.
Yes, sir.
And this is his beast right here that he's working on.
Mm-hmm.
What is this thing?
1962 Airstream, 24 foot. I've been into the alternative living style for a while, and this is like a the exemplary model of the off-grid living system.
Is that what you're into?
I've been doing that lifestyle a bit. I spent 9 months traveling around South America and just took every alternative means of transportation I could. Lived out of my backpack.
Like 9 months?
I did it for 9 months. I spent like $800. Started in Costa Rica. I think I actually jumped up to Guatemala. And so I flew into Lima from there actually, and then I went north to Ecuador and up to Colombia. And then came back down and went all the way to Ushuaia, Patagonia, the furthest most tip. And finally I ran into this dive crew, and I'm like, where are the king crabs? I'm like, well, you don't tell me they're right underneath the dock here. And they're all in like 6 to 8 mil wetsuits, and I didn't have any of that gear, but I had this mask and this little hook that I carried around with me that I forged when I was working for a guy that made bed frames randomly in Mexico, and a little crab extractor. So I had that and the mask, and these guys were impressed. They're like, you roll up with a mask and a little hook, and you're asking us where the king crab are.
He's Captain Up over here.
Yeah, they're like, we're gonna tell you where the king crab are. So
You got in this water without a suit?
I got in the water and I dove down like 17, 20 feet, grabbed 2 of them. They're crawling around like just like ants. Like there's tons of them. I see them and I just kind of spaz out a little bit. Yeah. Grabbed 2 of them. They're pretty spiny.
How big were they?
I'm like in my skivvies. One of them was probably that big, like the leg always ended.
Okay.
And then the other one was a little bit bigger. Like took one back to the place I was staying. They gave me a week's free stay and sold one to a restaurant for $40, which at that time was thousands.
Yeah.
You know.
What advice would you give to, say, somebody who was going on a trip?
Don't spend money. Because you have those experiences.
Right. There's going on vacation, and then there's traveling. It's the hunt for experience, often at the expense of comfort. Vacations are great, but if you really want to see the world, you gotta leave your comfort zone. And in that spirit, I wanted to come back downtown with Ryan for a very specific reason, and that's to go to Skid Row, because Ryan said something via the social medias.
It's okay to be born with privilege, as long as you remember that there are people who weren't.
I think a lot of times we judge this situation as something to pity, sort of like, for lack of a better phrase, white man's burden kind of thing. You know, who is to say that waking up every morning at 6:30 a.m. so you can get showered and go to work, and you can work really hard to barely pay your mortgage and your bills and all that other stuff, and come home and wake up and do it again every day. Like, who's to say that that's a better life than this?
He says, what do we tell 12-year-old Monty? What kind of role model can we be? And I kind of like, straight fucking talking, let's get with it. In the name of the Lord, King of Kings, we got to show him a way out so we can break the cycle, so he can break the cycle. This kid, he was in the park with me the other day and just smoking weed. This is a 12-year-old kid.
Yeah.
One of the guys that kind of like hang out with him stole the skateboard. And he just runs to me crying like, hey man, you know, my skateboard, man, like, you know, that was all he had. Like, he felt like that was all he had, is his blunt and his skateboard. You know, this is a 12-year-old kid.
It's made up, instead of being like a block of people, it's made up of thousands of individual people who all have their own hopes and dreams, who all have their own levels of education, and we assume none of these people are educated. You know, but that's not true.
Yeah. I don't have the right to try to define it. I don't have the right to try to say this or that about it, because I haven't lived it. After Skid Row, we took our thoughts to Tours Central, the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Ryan and I are both entertainers with big ideas and a relentless drive. We're dreamers. Visiting places like this always inspires that hope that one day our names might be on one of these stars. But he and I aren't kids anymore. Far from it. And the continued struggle for success in the entertainment world is one that will test your will. It's heartbreaking and soul-crushing. But we're artists. And in the light of Skid Row, we're the lucky ones.
Yes, I still kind of look at it with that whole reason why I got in it in the first place, was that these were people, even though they're dead, long dead and gone, that I wanted to make my peers. Like, I don't need to go to a restaurant and have somebody come up and be like, oh my God, you're so-and-so. But I do want to walk onto a set with Meryl Streep and have her say, I'm so glad I get to work with you.
You know, I don't know if I ever thought about it that way until you said it, but I agree. I feel to be recognized by those who you honor and admire as peers is probably the definition of success.
For me, that's success.
I just wanted to be like, yo,
Can you go
give me an Oscar.
Welcome. Oh, are we starting?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hey, girls.
Hey, guys.
Hey, girls. What's going on? Okay.
So, Ryan.
Dusty.
Yes. How's the shoot going? So good so far.
Shoot's going well. We just did the first, not the first master of the day, but the first master of my stuff, which is the master is the wide shot. I had a few episodes of the show called The Night Shift, and then I did Grey's Anatomy and Scandal and Revenge and this Nickelodeon show that was a lot of fun called Sam and Cat. And then I did a Disney show. You know, I mean, and then I booked a commercial earlier this year, which paid my rent for the year. So there are many nights I came home, parked my car, and just started crying because I'm like, I don't know what to do. I feel like I'm doing everything right and nothing is working.
Give me a little context on what your background is.
I'm Lebanese. I'm Lebanese, born and raised in Texas. My parents came to the United States in '76 because of the Lebanese Civil War. You know, there was a project I remember that I knew the casting director on. This was years back. I was 24, 25 at the time. And the project was for mid-20s, quirky Lebanese male, grew up in Texas, went to an Ivy League school. It was me. And I remember emailing the casting director and saying, hey, so-and-so, this is perfect. And his response is, sorry, we're going ethnic for this part. And then I remember emailing the same casting director for something else and saying, you're too ethnic. There have been Arab stories that have come up. To tell that story in any other way other than a specific way that they feel is digestible by American audiences is going to be passed on. Every time there's something like what just happened in Paris, or September 11th or something like that, there's a understandable outpour of anger, but it's directed towards a general other that looks like me. The thing I have to say about LA is I know so many people who have a preconception of LA, of what Los Angeles is, a preconceived notion of...
I came with a preconceived notion.
Yeah, most people do. LA's all fake. I came with a preconceived notion even though I really wanted to be here. And the image I always got of LA, I don't know if you've ever taken one of those Universal Studio tours where you see they basically take you through and you see the building, this is New York Street, this is, Middle America Street, but then you go around the curve and it's just a facade. LA is a lot more than just a facade.
Okay, are we done?
We're done.
We're done. We're done. That's it. That is all, folks.
Cut.